who are talking about. They're all complaining about many people are being underpaid. And that's why we're crying that minimum wage be increased, etc. Nobody's getting paid their worth in our country. What we need to stop doing is pointing fingers at everyone else. Focus.
LB, what's up?
Hi, I love the energy. I am absolutely fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. No, it's 2025. New energy.
Yes.
New vibes.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the new year.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that it's going to be even bigger and better than 2024.
Yeah.
I get that sense. You know, sometimes you have a feeling about it.
Yeah.
I have a sense. And I've been in prayer. I'm in a really good spiritual place. And, you know, sometimes when you're there, it means God is speaking to you a little bit more clear than maybe when you're busy with other things. So, yeah, it's going to be a good year. Mark my words.
Are we winning or we're taking over?
It depends. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not very much about talking about what I am going to do. Yeah. I just like for people to see what I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we just went straight into talking without me welcoming. Welcome to the 20th of the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I don't get invited to these things enough. Yeah. So I try to say yes whenever, especially when it's a good friend, when it's someone I know isn't going to ask me wild things. Like you,
like your body counts and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how have you been?
Like I said, I'm fantastic. Everything is so awesome. I wish Nganaginali, you know, like maybe I'd be more relatable if I had like things that I could say. Like, no, you know, it's tough. It's not tough. It's been really, really good. God has been so gracious. I'm having the time of my life right now. Yeah. I had a time in my life where I didn't enjoy making radio. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm loving making radio right now. I'm enjoying television. It's a learning experience every day. Yeah. Yeah. My personal life is also in such a good place where obviously it's not perfect. Yeah. Nothing is ever perfect. Yeah, don't ever think that. Yeah. But things are fantastic. Good, awesome, apple, amazing. All the words that you can think about. That's why the whole
So, why is it that people, like, you're such a vibe, why is it that people never invite you for these podcasts, for these interviews and stuff like that?
I just don't think. I think it's how I carry myself. I don't think I carry myself like someone who would be willing. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I carry myself. I think podcasts are for like people who are doing something right now, relevant right now. I don't think I've ever been relevant. I'm just like under the radar. Yeah, I'm just like, you know, people who are floating. You know, there's the radar, right? Yeah. I'm just like hovering somewhere here. Right? So let
me tell you something. You're one of the most relevant people. You're on the breakfast show on Botswana Television, right?
Yes.
And you're on the afternoon drive.
Okay.
On Yarona FM. How many people do you know in this country about they're doing the morning drive and then the afternoon drive?
That's just my work. Yeah. I don't think that speaks to my relevance, actually.
So you
I think it's just my work. Yeah, I think I show up and I do a good job such that I get the job. I show up and I give a great interview such that I get the job. I don't think it has to do with relevance. I think there are people who are way more relevant.
I feel like...
No, I think this is where I like to be. So it's understanding who I am, what I bring to the table or what value I bring, and operating in that sphere. And I'm happy to operate in this sphere.
Because you wake up people in the morning on your breakfast show on TV.
Right.
And then you take them to work.
Yeah. And then I take them from work to their driving home and listening to the radio. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're that perfect voice.
That's so insane.
Yeah, I've never seen that anyway. Like,
is that so? Yeah. I feel like it's been done before.
Maybe, but we'll find out.
In Botswana.
Because remember the generation.
I mean, Lugo was on radio,
Afternoon Drive, and then on Flavor.
and then he was on Flavor Dome.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, like the
two slots.
Yeah.
It's big. I love it.
Yeah,
it's so
big.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never realize it, huh?
I think a lot of creators will tell you this. I think a lot of people in our industry will also tell you this. You want something, and then you get it, and once you get it, you're too busy
to realize,
working on the next thing, learning, perfecting, to even enjoy the celebration, the moment of celebration. I got BTV and I was so excited. And I think it lasted all of one day. Yeah, and then it became work. Yeah, so I don't think, you're right, I don't think you ever let it sink in that, wow, I'm doing this. And even things like realizing that I'm the first one, it's never been done before. There's no time to think about things like that. Yeah.
And also there's a thing going around, Khatia, the pretty face of radio at the moment.
Am I?
That's what they're saying.
I've never heard that. First of all, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think there's so many beautiful people on radio.
And the other
I could literally go through a list of gorgeous women who are on radio right now.
And the other thing that they're saying, Barry, you're out in Botswana radio when you're back.
What?
Because apparently, like, at the moment, radio is not relevant, and your show is the one which is, like, holding everything that's going on. You and Sway.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I listen to so much radio.
Local radio.
Yeah, I listen to so much local radio. There's, I think, please don't kill me. I think the breakfast show at Yarona FM is incredible. Fox. I think what Fox is doing, whether it was with Rati and in Deeps at the same time, or with just in Deeps, and now with things having changed, as you know, Theodi Chile, he's on the radio with MOG now.
MOG is good.
Well, by the time this airs, MOG will be back.
My dog.
So I don't know how you want to handle that.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk about it though until the 6th of January.
It's fine.
Yes. So everything that he's doing with MOG, I think it's so groundbreaking because it's not about just talking. I think for a very long time, radio was about just entertaining, just talking. And it went away from what it was when they first started. I remember when Yarona FM first started, they were very impactful on the ground. They were leaving the studio and they were doing things on the ground. They were giveaways and people's lives were being changed by radio. And I think that's happening big in South Africa. But right now, I think Fox is doing that very, very well, where the conversations he's having, it's more than just about being angry or being happy or celebrating someone. They're actually changing things on the ground. They're having conversations and challenging leadership. And he's been doing that his whole radio career. I mean, when you think of the Sunday Soccer Show, you know, a lot happens because the Sunday Soccer Show brought it up, you know, or some of the initiatives that they start on the side become initiatives that people, even the leadership runs with in their campaigns or in their national executive committee. So I think he's relevant. I really enjoy Breakfast in HD from Gavs FM. What a hugely impactful show. What a hugely entertaining show. I think Tapo Slow on sports. Chef's kiss, guys. Chef's kiss. What a talented young man, and who's so passionate about sports and so knowledgeable. You know, I love when people can spit their facts. That's great. Other radio shows that I think are interesting. Duma FM has a lot of great talent. I think Resol Mkhakatari's Sunday show, people don't talk about it enough, but I think a lot of people listen to it. I think, what is this called? The one that is produced by Calvin the journalist. It's in the evening. It's with, I've listened to it a few times, but I always catch it halfway. That's why I don't know what it's called. It's called Dawn Tonight. Is it called Dawn Tonight?
No, I don't remember.
I think it's called...
Isn't it the White House?
No. I think it's called Dawn at Night or Dawn Tonight.
Yeah, Dawn at Night.
Dawn at Night, I think. Yeah. What a great show. Pick up my king. You're doing it. I think there's a lot of great radio that is being made. I just think Botswana Barata Okhala. That's what I think. I think a lot of Botswana don't even, like a lot of people who have opinions about radio don't listen to radio.
They don't listen to radio.
They don't listen to radio. You were just on that day scrolling and then you heard LB and LB happened to be on a day where maybe her delivery wasn't flawless and then you decided that LB is terrible. And I think that's a lot of what holds us back. We don't even bother to do our research before we have an opinion about stuff. So I think that's what it is. I don't think we're holding. I mean, we're definitely carrying something great. I don't think we're carrying radio on our back. I think Sway and I have an incredible show. I think the climax is unbeatable. I don't think anyone else is anywhere near. Tego, what? But I don't think everyone else is terrible. No, not by any chance.
No, we're not saying that. I used to work at a radio station.
Yes.
I used to produce a breakfast show.
The breakfast show.
Yeah.
I was working on the breakfast show when you were producing, no?
Yeah, when we were always fighting with the presenters.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't talk about those things. We don't talk about those things.
No, when I'm saying fighting, I mean like putting together magic.
Yeah, exactly. We were fighting for the product.
Yeah. So so I know how it's like inside of a radio station. So what I'm saying is that radio is quite different from back then. Back then we used to have superstars whereby the lineup from the breakfast show up to the last show, the graveyard, did superstars. You'd be having Robbie Rob, boom, Tsepoli Sole, boom.
Like
Tumi Ramsden,
Miss B. You would get like Scar, Penyo, I want to say Penyo Mutaudi, but also Penyo Moroka. It was like superstars. It was celebrities. They were the stars of the show.
They were the stars of the show. Even the graveyard, who was on the graveyard, he was like a superstar.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in your current generation, I feel like it's just there, like it's radio, like we don't have superstars in these radio stations. Unless if it's Maluza doing a feature as Sefalana or whatever. We don't have superstars. Or why is it like that? Have we gotten fused to radio or what?
I think there's a lot of factors.
Actually, when I'm saying that, I don't mean your radio station, but I mean radio as well.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of factors that contribute to what has become radio right now, right? One of which is accessibility. In the time that we live in now, radio is very accessible. And before, a radio was very accessible. Like everyone had a radio. You had a radio in your car, there's a radio in the house. Now you can go into many households and not find a radio, right? And they've tried to change things by like making radio accessible on television and things like that. But I think social media has now become the go-to for people. So if people are interested in what's going on in the world, they're not listening to radio to find out. They're not waiting. And that's another thing. We are we're the right now generation, right? So if somebody tells me that something is trending, if somebody tells me that something is happening in parliament, if somebody tells me that a law has been passed, or there was a fight, or there's a fire, right? I'm not going to wait for LB and Sway at 3 p.m. This is happening at 7, right? I want something that's going to update me and inform me now, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to go on social media. So that's why social media is where the celebrities are, because it's right now information. If I'm looking for what you said, I don't need to find the recording. I don't need to look. I don't need to, do you know what I mean? And I think in some ways, radio has, and many radio stations have failed to adapt or come along. And even us as personalities, I'll even speak for myself, we fail to adapt to the changing times, which is how can we keep people entertained outside of the 3 to 6 p.m. that I'm on air? How can I stay in touch with people outside of that time? And am I willing to do that? I don't think a lot of people or a lot of radio personalities or a lot of radio stations or even entertainment platforms like television have been able to adapt to the times as quickly as we needed to.
So how can this adaptation take place?
You just need to make the decision as a team, as a radio station, as an individual. How can I? and it's like you have to think of everything as content and keep churning out that content. But I don't think it's for everyone. I think there are people, and I think I'm one of those people. I think there are people who I'm happy to be irrelevant, and I'm happy to make the impact that I need to make where I'm making it. And I'm not trying to move with the times. And maybe that makes me irrelevant.
Okay, so there's a guy that used to be friends on Facebook, passed away, very great podcaster. He said, yes, my case, I don't know if you know him, he was on 705 or 702. So he taught me like the art of being relevant all the time as a broadcaster. So let's say your show is at 3 p.m. Before you get into the studio, around 11 a.m., just spark a conversation, what you're going to talk about at 3 p.m. And then when you're about to leave the studio, tell the people that you're leaving the studio, but okay, continue the conversation on Twitter. So I'm not seeing that with any of the people. I think the only person who's doing that may be Kibo Kelvin, the journalist. Solomon Kakua. A lot of sports journalists, let me just say. But the current affairs guys, maybe it's Tehuto who's doing that. But most guys, they're just going to the studio and then they're done. No, I'm not seeing any what you call debates and conversations that are steered by people in the breakfast shows across the country. I would love to hear what Donna Mac's opinion is like towards certain issues. I would love to hear what Petulia and Tabo think about the changes that are taking place. I would love to hear about what you call FOX thoughts on 1, 2, 3. And then those other guys go to Botswana. I would love to hear their thoughts also.
And then get on social media, get that, and then switch on the radio to hear a continuation of that.
Something like that.
I have many thoughts on that.
You can.
But I'm not interested in sharing them publicly.
You pay for such information. Like people have to pay for such information.
I just think, to be sunny, the world is very... I'm a God girl, okay? So I think there's a lot of rules that people want us to play by in order to stay relevant. Oh, you guys need to do more of this, and you guys need to do more of that. And those are the standards of the world, right? That's how I feel, right? And I have seen so many people who defied the standards, who defied what I was supposed to do and what was supposed to, and still make it and still be relevant and still be successful and still work on the climax and still work on Dumela Botswana Breakfast Show without needing to constantly be tweeting and constantly be in touch with everyone and without everyone having access to my life and my thoughts and my actions and all of that. And I'm still award-winning and I'm still getting work and I'm still working. Whether or not you believe that the platforms that I work on are relevant or impactful or whatever, that's up for debate and anyone can debate it, right? I just think I really want to say this and not get cancelled. I just think the world likes to build people up so that they can tear them down. I think that culture is very prevalent in our country. And because of that, I don't think a lot of public broadcasters or people that you deem celebrities are interested in putting themselves out there beyond what they have to do, right? Contractually, I have to show up to BTV and be on television every day. Contractually, I have to show up at Yarona FM and be on radio every day. I don't have to do that on any other platform. It is not. It is not my responsibility. I don't have to. For other people, Ms. GKs, I know she does that very well. For people like Chris Omotakakari, I know they do that very, very well. They do that because they want to. It's their personality, it's their character. It's part of what they want to put out there. It's part of how they want to be seen. And I just think as Lebowa LB Moron, as Kagiso Fox Patsimo, as Donna Mac, I get to define who I am for myself. And I don't need an entire 2 million people trying to help me define that for me, right? And I think the reason why you love me on radio and the reason why you enjoy my content every time I speak and the reason why I still have the jobs and I'm still getting the jobs is because I have defined that for myself. And I don't need to be a puppet for you in order for that to come out. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
In other words, you're trying to say that like a media personality shouldn't be controlled, allowed to be controlled and move with the wind, but be themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that people buy is Lebowa Moron.
Not the puppet. It's
not the performances that I put on.
Okay.
Right? So that and I'll give you an example. The greatest responses I get from people on air, the greatest responses I get from people who stop me and say, oh, you're wearing the outfit you're wearing this morning on television.
Yeah.
You're the girl from TV, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I'll say yes. And they'll say, I love this about you. It's never your voice. It's never that time you tweeted. It's not that you're trending. It's not that you're popular. It's not even that I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
It's, I love how real you feel. I love how whenever I think something about what you're saying, you say it. And for me, that comes from being myself. And myself doesn't want to be on social media all day trending. I don't care to have 10 million followers. I don't care for photo shoots. I don't care to be, for you to know my outfit every day. I don't care for those things. Those things don't change the world. They don't impact people's lives. For me, personally.
You're not an it girl.
I don't care to be an it girl. I don't care for that, right? So to answer your question, I think maybe that great broadcaster has a point and is right. But I just don't think that Dumisani's life falls into following the rules that Lebowa's life falls into. And we can be in the same career and all do finance. And just because I don't do it according to the rules, and obviously there's standards, please don't get me wrong. There's radio standards, there's television standards, there's broadcasting standards, and most people should exist within those standards. But there are people who don't, like McG. He woke up and decided, I don't want to live by the standards. I'm going to do my own thing. And now he's one of the most popular podcasts on the African continent because he didn't, in the world, because he didn't play by the rules, my love. And I'm just saying, I'm not going to play by the rules. And you want me to be on social media and you want me to do all these things, and I don't care for it. Calvin does what he does because that's what he loves to do. It's his passion. And because he does it, he thrives at it. It might not be mine. It might not be Dollar Max. It might not be Fox's. And if you need us to be relevant because you want us to get on social media and talk, then maybe you're just not my audience. And that's okay. Yeah. Okay. I can't win everyone over. I can't have 2 million people listen. I can't have 2 million listeners. It's not going to happen. That's not a realistic expectation. And the listeners that we do have, they're loyal, they buy, and it's working, in my humble opinion.
Your humble opinion. No, you can express your opinion like fully. So I'm going to throw in another theory, which is there. They say that not real. They say that like broadcasters or radio personalities are no longer interested in that in being celebrities. They're not motivated or inspired actually because they're poorly paid. Yeah. So
you guys don't pay us enough. You know this. You people laugh about this on social media. What do you mean? We joke about how much we get paid. We joke about it. It's literally a running joke in our society, in our industry, in the country, where, you know, the corporates who get a little bit more than the average person, the other careers where journalists and broadcasters and celebrities, we don't make that much. And it's known. So if it's known, we are fighting to make more. What more do you want from us, guys? You want us to fake lifestyle so that you guys can cancel us for faking lifestyle? So that you can expose us for faking? I think
the blame now is on the first generation of radio presenters because they sold us a dummy. Like those guys were superstars, bro.
No, but they were superstars. Let me tell you something. They were actually superstars. I don't think Bobo Nidintwa, Bo Oil Rampa, Bo Loose Boy, Bo Duquesta, who were like Bo Lady of Soul, like the first group of like superstar radio presenters. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't. They weren't acting. They weren't pretending. They weren't living beyond their means. They were getting paid big amounts because at the time it was new, it was fresh. Advertisers wanted in, sponsors wanted in, people wanted partnerships. Money was being thrown at the product. Money is not being thrown at the product anymore. And I guess it's up to us to figure out why, right? Yeah. Because I'll be fair with you. I want to ask you this. Yeah. When we talk about all the guys who are social media superstars in Botswana, are they getting paid their worth? Do you think they're balling out of control?
You mean like social media influencers?
The influencers, the content creators, all of those.
Okay, the ones that are getting paid properly, it's social media influencers because they're working with brands. And then content creators.
So like when you say somebody's getting paid, let's say I am Collections by BK Proctor, which you're wearing, and I need to push my latest sunglass line and I'm going to work with an influencer. Yeah. On average, how much is that?
Usually influencers, they charge between 8 to 15,000.
8 to 15,000 for
like a post.
Just one post.
One post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Which is a contract for maybe 6 months, 3 months. On the, just one. So you're getting 15,000 once off, right?
Yes. No, not once off. Like one Facebook post.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Once off. There's sometimes it's like we get into an agreement, right? Yeah. It's a 3-month agreement. Yeah. We've agreed that I'm going to pay you 50 million over like 3 months.
Yes.
So it's going to be 50 million divided by 3 months.
By 3 months.
Sometimes it's I need 5 posts over a 6-month period, a year-long period, right? Or sometimes it's like, listen, I need 1 post this week. Here's right. Yeah. So depending on the contract, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think there's much of a difference between what the radio presenters are being paid and what the influencers are being paid.
No,
there's not much of a difference.
I'd like to differ.
Yeah.
One thing for sure, influencers, like those ones who are serious in getting jobs and they're getting jobs from
like
corporates. Let me not mention names.
Okay.
Because we'll be talking about someone's paycheck.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just say me. I'm representing brand XYZ. If it's a campaign, a 6 months campaign, I'll be like, no, it's fine, let's do this. If it's me posting on your social media, you pay me 10,000 per post, and then I have to post about 5 posts, which is 50,000 in 1 month, which is already, 1 post is actually more than someone's salary who's working on radio at the moment.
If you say so, Trabi.
Yeah.
I will tell you as a radio presenter if you say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, with that being said, like, how's the future of radio going forward? Like, you go forward.
I don't think radio is going anywhere. I don't think radio is going anywhere.
But it's relevance.
Radio is very relevant. I don't think radio is going anywhere. That's why anytime that Yarona FM is shuffling their lineup, anytime that somebody says something wild on radio, anytime that, people are looking to laugh about something, make fun of something, they talk about radio, they talk about radio presenters, and even when you wanted to bash them, radio presenters, why? Because you were listening. Yeah. We're not going anywhere. And people have been, how long people have been saying radio is gonna die? When television came out, people said radio was gonna die.
And then when
newspapers came out, people said radio was gonna die. When social media came out, people said radio was gonna die. Guys, radio is still here. It's alive and kicking. Yes. We all go through, and I want to also say this, Dumisani, who is getting paid in Botswana? A subset of this country's, we see articles every day that talk about the average Botswana makes less than 4,000 pula a month. Yeah. So who is getting paid, guys?
No.
We're standing, I don't mind it because I have chosen a career that's in the public eye, right? Yeah. It's very normal. Because I'm in the public eye, you will talk about my paycheck, you will talk about my salary, you will talk about what I'm doing. Nobody talks about me. I just mean me in representation of the famous people. Nobody talks
about me. So the best thing about...
So the point that I'm trying to make is for everyone. COVID-19 affected everyone, affected everyone, right? The turnaround and trying to recover from COVID-19 affected everyone. I know big organizations with big names, the ones that you know, the ones where we bank, the ones where we shop, they too are cutting, they're making pay cuts. They're cutting back on spending. You know this. Agencies are also, people are getting retrenched. The entire world, not just Botswana, the entire ecosystem is going through financial hardship right now. Yeah. Not to mention the leadership and some of the things, the effects of corruption and chomi, madi. I think, yes, I agree. But it's not everyone that is getting a taste of that money. It's not just entertainers, it's not just radio presenters, it's not just influencers who are being underpaid. It's a lot of industry. The doctors are complaining, the nurses are complaining, accountants are complaining, people who work, we're talking about, they're all complaining about many people are being underpaid. And that's why we're crying that minimum wage be increased. etc. Nobody's getting paid their worth in our country. What we need to stop doing is pointing fingers at everyone else. Focus on the thing that feeds you.
It's 2025. A lot of changes. Yeah, but the nice thing about you being on such a platform is that you can easily sell yourself to be an ambassador or to be anything. Like,
I'm horrible at that. I wish I was good at it, Chomi. I really wish I was. Maybe it's my own deep-seated insecurities that don't allow me to, be brave enough to do that. But I don't know, guys. I think I've built a great career not doing that. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
You should spend more time with me. I'm sure I would start.
No, Chomi. I'm good.
Yeah, like I know a lot of friends that are dying to work with you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how that conversation ended up, but I know, in a day I can receive like 2 phone calls. So can I please have Bobby's number?
No, give me a call, Chomi. Give me a call. Let's chat. How would you like to work?
Wait, look in the camera and talk to her.
You see how hard it is to sell myself. I can't even do that.
Yeah.
Guys, Kishai. No, listen. I work very hard. I show up. I'm very professional. I genuinely don't think there's anyone who does what I do as well as I do it. And having me on your team in any capacity brings it up by like 1,000,000%.
And she's also a voiceover artist.
I do it all. There's nothing I can't do. When I just give me a call, find out how I can help you.
Kavuna management.
I do have a manager. Yeah.
Who's your manager?
I am managed by Makwati Media.
Oh, Khape Makwati.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right. You left Kablan.
I did leave Kablan.
Okay.
I didn't leave. He was going in a different direction.
Okay.
And he already had enough talent in his hands.
Okay.
I just didn't think he had the capacity to carry it all, right? Because I was doing what you have seen in the last 3 years, which was taking it to another level.
Yeah.
And sometimes, unfortunately, we work so well together. We're business partners in other ways, but he's just not my manager. Yeah. And sometimes you have to take a step forward and leave some people behind. Yeah. And I left Kabelo, the manager, behind, but Kabelo, the businessman, is my business partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's true. So I feel like also someone who loves challenging themselves.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Do I take the challenges on well? No, I'm complaining the whole time. I'm crying the whole time. But I like a challenge.
So 10 years ago, when we were still rookies, me and you, like when all these other young ladies were saying, no, I want to have a radio show which talks about makeup, about cooking and stuff like that. But nobody wanted to sports. Yeah. And at some point, me and you were the only cricket journalists in this country.
In this country.
Yeah, the whole country.
The entire country.
Count. Yeah.
What a time.
Yeah, what a time.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So what's your question?
My question is that, like, where would you get the drive to challenge yourself so much?
I don't think I challenge myself. Can I be honest? I think, like everybody else, life throws challenges at me.
Yeah.
What I've learned is, and thank goodness I grew up in the church, right? Yeah. Because at church, I feel like they preach about these things on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I was listening to this from childhood all the way into teenagehood. And then, I stopped going to church. We'll talk about that another day.
By the way, Lebowa, why did you stop going to church?
No, stop. I think I grew up under the messaging of God gives his toughest soldiers the toughest challenge.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, there's scriptures like, as faith must be, as gold must be tested by fire, so your faith must be tested by challenges, right? Scriptures like, in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, right? Be strong and courageous. And he said, it's literally constant. God is telling you that life is not going to be easy by any means. You are never going to have, it's never going to be, even the people who look like, you're on vacation every other day, they face their own internal battles, their own internal demons, their own external experiences that challenge them. So for me, to answer your question, I was saying this on air the other day. I believe in the Bible. I live and breathe the Bible. Not perfectly, don't get me wrong. And the Bible tells me that life is hard. But I made you harder, God said. I made you in the image of God. You are a reflection of Jehovah, right? And as a consequence, that means everything that's happening on this earth, even your spirit, your brain, your body knows you're going to get through it. Why? Because it was made by the person that made you. So there's nothing that you can face that you can't get past. So that's always been my attitude. It's okay, it's tough, I'm crying, let's go. I remember when I quit Yarona FM, it was at a time where I needed to do it because I felt as if I was stepping into new things. I had just started my television show. I want to call it a podcast, but it was a TV show. We were just getting into COVID. Things were uncertain, and they were asking me for things that I couldn't give them, right? And it was time for me to walk away and be like, listen, I've been here for an amount of time. I've started this thing. It's nowhere near where I thought it would be when I finally left radio, but I'm ready to take it on. And I remember I cried every day for about 2 months. I remember I would be in the car crying, but there was worship music playing and I was worshiping God because I just knew that I'm crying. It's hard. Things are difficult. I don't know where my next paycheck is going to come from. I don't know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. My mother's looking at me. There are expectations upon my life. I need to figure things out and I have no answers. So I'm crying because of that. But I also know inside that things are going to be okay. So life throws challenges at you, Jumisani. Life is always going to throw challenges at you. Life is hard. But I know that I'm harder. I know that I'm tougher. And I know that there is nothing that you can put before me that I cannot master, that I cannot get past, that I cannot get victory over. That's just something I know.
Wow. No, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Actually, let's scratch the brand ambassador thing. Like, you should, on a serious level, try being a motivational speaker.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, try being a motivational speaker.
In my next life.
Nah, take advantage of the Rachel.
I feel you. I don't know. I don't know if that's something I want to do.
I kept quiet
I'll think about it.
I was just thinking
You're thinking about your life.
Flashbacks, bro. Like,
Chomi.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, let's open a church. Yeah. And then we'll go over this. No, we'll talk to our friends and relatives. And then we'll call these CEOs.
Yeah.
And then, like, we'll be telling people, if you want to become a CEO, you should pay us like 10,000.
No, I don't do that. I don't play with the name of the Lord.
Yeah. A church is not a place to make money.
Yeah, I don't play with the things of the Lord.
Yeah.
The name of the Lord.
Yeah.
Count me out.
You're scared.
I don't play with that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So before we end up like taking the next 10, which we're not supposed to take, I wanted us to talk about sport.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to tap into your sport brain.
Right.
You know Botswana soccer so well. Yeah. You can take that side.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like our standards have gone down, bro. Like, I used to love to watch like local soccer back then when I was still in high school. I was staying in Pico. When Center Chiefs came to play Nico United, I would know that I would
like
watch.
An encounter.
Yeah, like the terraces would be full and people coming in their cars and stuff like that. And now, It's totally the opposite. What's going on?
Khalina sepeka football side.
But we love football.
No, you don't.
Or we love international football.
Botswana, Khalina sepeka entertainment industry alone. Khalina sepeka sports alone. Khalina sepeka radio alone. Khalina sepeka Botswana. That's the problem with our country. 2 million people should be able to sustain themselves and do it very well. But, like, look at South African soccer, the PSL, right? Who do you think they make that product for?
For the people.
They make it for South Africans.
Yeah.
They don't think about Botswana. They make it for South Africans. Who do you think consumes it? South Africans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who watches more South African football than South Africa? No one.
Yeah.
No one. I can tell you that the same cannot be said for Botswana. That product is made for you, but you don't care about the product. You don't go to the fields. You don't buy the jerseys. You don't support the teams. If you stop Botswana men, and I'm saying men because obviously football is considered a male-dominated area. A lot of them will tell you they don't have a local team. Miko England do aliba. Because Syria wa aliba. Kola liha wa aliba. And it's because you don't care. And you want to say the standard has gone bad because you're saying you don't care because the standard has gone bad. But the standard has gone bad because you don't care. We used to have Milo Junior Football League. Remember, was it Milo?
Yeah, it was Milo.
It was Milo again. Yeah. We used to have Milo Bonita. We used to have a lot of food. Why? Because people would go and watch. And then you stopped watching, so those sponsors walked out. So what do you think is happening with football development? Where are these kids playing? Where they are playing for free with no support? Where there's no school sports? Why do you think all those things are happening? It's because you as a parent don't care about your own child's football career. Therefore, you don't care about buying the boots, you don't care about going to the games, you don't care about supporting, you don't care, you will not put together a fundraising event, you will not do anything. Meanwhile, the private school kids, I'm showing you a picture, they're putting together fundraising, they're building their own courts there, and they're thriving. That's why their kids will then go and play in China, go and play in America, go and play everywhere else but Botswana, because even you as a parent who does care for your private school kid, you don't care to see them on Botswana soil because you think the product is beneath you, but you're not doing anything to add to the product. FNB will come on board. Everyone, all this was BTC, they will come on board, but it cannot be FNB's burden alone. As a sponsor, they can't. The Golden Grand Prix is a perfect example of that. The Golden Grand Prix started 7 years before you ever heard about it.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
7 years before you ever heard about it, or was it 2017, sorry. 2017 is when it started. In 2017, you had never heard of Gaborone running meat. Gaborone.
Oh, you mean that gentleman?
Yeah, yes.
I was there when it was conceptualized.
Exactly. When it was started, Botswana didn't care. Nobody came to the stadium. Nothing. And then he slowly built the product by himself and slowly built. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a stadium team. The sponsor already that team. I get.
Yeah.
So for me, I completely understand where you're coming from. The quality has gone down, but it's because as a nation we stopped caring. Notwani Football Club, Muchudi Center, all these clubs were built by people who came together because they cared. And at the time there was no money, Dumisani. There was no money, but they managed to put it together, and they managed to ensure that these players, these players, these players, boots, these players, they were making sure that happened. But they cannot continue to carry that by themselves. It needs to be a community. Sports in our country is failing because you think it is the BAA's responsibility. The BAA thinks it's the BNSC's responsibility.
There's a lot of fingers.
Everybody is pointing a victim. Nobody is saying it is my responsibility. The media, everyone is like, everyone should do. No, it is a concerted effort. It is a group effort. Give group project they show me. And it's not enough to come together when Little Lebowa was winning. It's not enough. Because Little Lebowa still has to train every day. Go National Stadium, because you think the quality is low.
Because also, I saw the time when Orlando Pirates was here. The stadium was fully packed. The following classes, local league match.
The same day.
Yeah. Stadium was
you will literally come and fill the stadium for a team that does not care about you, that is going to take your money and go and spend it in their home, building their economy.
Also, there was that match, Bafana Legends versus Zebras Legends. Stadium fully packed. And then the following day, would some local teams, the 0, nothing. So, in the conversations that I have with people, but our talent quality is low as compared to...
There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
There is not. You think we would have a gold medal at the Olympics if our talent quality was low? You think we would send 12, 13 athletes to every single Olympics for the last, since 1980, can't remember the exact number, since the 1980s, we've been going to the Olympics. So you're telling me that we are good enough to compete at the world, but our talent quality is low?
Yeah.
We are good enough to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations on our first try as Basadi, but our talent quality is low. No, you're not taking care of the talent. You can literally, if you put a baby here that had all the potential in the world and you didn't feed it and you didn't give it water, you didn't bath it, you didn't clean it, you didn't comb its hair and take care of it, what would happen to that kid?
It'll die.
It will die.
Or run away, go next door. Because I'm seeing I know a lot of kids that I used to interview back then with promising careers. Soccer players, athletes and stuff like that.
Table tennis, badminton, volleyball, basketball, you name it.
Yeah, they gave up.
So many talented athletes.
They gave up. Like one of them is now a fitness trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave up. So
that is the unfortunate. For me, that is the unfortunate. It makes me so emotional because it's so many dreams that were, I want to say destroyed. I don't want to say destroyed, though. That were held back to Misani because we just don't have, we don't have. We're just not putting in the resources to nurture their talent. And hey, because defense defense. Health as a nation we need to figure out how to do that right. So we just need to as a country come together. It needs to be a concerted effort. Responsibility teacher as motsadi, are you paying attention? Do you know what's going on? How training? What do you do? As the school, have you created an environment where the academic and the sport can hold hands? As leaders, when you say you're putting in this amount, when you compare it to the value that you get back, are we putting in enough? It's just a whole thing, and it is not getting solved anytime soon.
Serious? Because the other thing which saddens me, I like comparing like people in different places, positions and stuff like that. Like I've been looking at maybe soccer legends or athletes from different countries.
Right.
Like most of them have their own academies. When they retire, they open an academy. Like I'm looking here, like my older brothers are just chilling. They don't have any academies or even like a community team. Let me just waste my time training these kids.
It goes back to there's two things I want to say to you. First of all, sometimes you've been in the public eye long enough to realize that you don't need to be in the public eye to be successful.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of athletes who have retired and they're doing great. They have businesses, maybe you started a cake business that's thriving, maybe you work full-time somewhere, you know like team mine, and then you started working at the mine and you're good, you're not suffering, you're well, you're getting your education. Just because you're not seeing it online, it's not being posted about, it's not being talked about, it doesn't mean it's not happening. There are so many, like Isaac Mabala just started a training academy for athletes. And he has an academy. I know
that guy who's like assistant coach what you is.
Yes, I know so many people, or I see so many posts where people have academies. Honali, the holiday vacation, I know netball, Honali, Tato Siska, he used to play he plays netball, he's an umpire. He has an academy. The academy didn't. Bob Basil Hockey Club, they work like an academy. Botswana Squash Association, Squash Racket Federation Association. Kona Lekoketso Ntebe, who has a club that works as an academy but also is a national team recruit. There are a lot of academies, right? There's a lot. I also don't know if we have the capacity, population-wise, for all of them. Plus school, because I guess school itself is supposed to be a source of sports development and training. I don't know if we can, as if we have a lot of enough people to sustain as many academies as the retiring athletes. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Do you understand?
I get you.
For the population, le batho ba ileng gore ba na le capacity ya go ntsha madi a require ke academy. I get because the reason why school sports is important is I don't have to pay anything as a parent. Ke reka diteki, ke reka dikausu, melora ya go thatswa di-uniform, dijo, what. I don't have to pay 5,000 pula for the training. Does that make sense? So for me, I think we're doing really well for a 2 million people population. What we're failing to do is what you were saying earlier about the radio presenters before us. We're failing to stay in touch. That's it. We're failing to stay in touch. There is a feeling, and I can understand it. How retired as a football player, you feel as if you're irrelevant now. People don't care about you. Those feelings happen. I can just imagine it. Nobody wants to learn from you because nobody's calling you, right? But me as the current football player, I feel as if, or I'm so focused on this that I don't know how to approach it. There's a gap. We need to close that gap between the people who came before us. It needs to happen in the corporate world. It needs to happen in sport. It needs to happen across our country, where it even needs to happen in culture. There is a disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation, such that the important things that need to be passed on, that have been passed on for centuries, for generations, for decades, for years, are not being passed on, that are important for us to learn from and carry forward, refine, modernize, etc. But we're not getting it because of that gap. The footballers of past are not talking to they are not building relationships with the BFA to stay in touch with the footballers of now. I know it's been happening in little pockets. I know that the BFA are doing it a little bit well because they are using retired athletes to be and recruiting them as the coaching development, right? That's not happening enough because Dumisani, as a seasoned broadcaster, you are the best person to help the next generation. You are the best person to train the next generation because you know what's happening on the ground better than I do, right? Better than anyone who's learning from a book. So the point that I'm making is that gap, it needs to be closed across Botswana. Parents are not talking to the next generation. And maybe it's because of another next generation, rates, but missing the
must. Okay, no, I get you, and
I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you did answer it, and now I've just realized why I'm radio. You talk a lot.
I do, Chomi, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. There's
I do. I get paid to do this, guys.
Yeah. No, unfortunately today we're not paying you for this. Why not? Why don't you have a podcast tonight?
Why don't I have a podcast?
Yeah.
Because I like money.
Like, do that podcast, bro.
Chumi, I did. Remember, I told you I started a show. We did 21 episodes. It was a great show. We talked about all the relevant things. The content is there. The content is amazing. We did it. It was amazing. I could have kept going. And then I saw the offers that I was getting. People wanting to put it on their platform, but when you're looking at what you're offering me versus what I spent, it doesn't make
So that project never did?
It aired. And that's all I'm willing to say.
And you didn't get anything from it?
I did not. I still haven't been paid for what I did there. But you know what? I wasn't expecting to be paid at the time.
And
it's
you
just,
sacrificed.
since then, I like money.
You left your job for that show.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
After that, like, someone was like, Botswana doesn't deserve LB. You can say it.
I think I love my country.
Yeah.
And no matter how flawed it is, I will never let a statement like that come out of my mouth.
Yeah, but you remember
no matter how...
You remember them saying that, right? You remember them saying that?
I remember.
Yeah.
No matter how global I get,
yeah,
this will always be home. And I will always love it. And you will always deserve me because you made me.
Yeah. No, that's proper. So let's talk about your Botswana Television gig.
Yes.
Yeah. That one, like, really excited you when you got it. Because I remember talking to you the first week when you got it. You're like, dude, I'm loving this, bro. Yeah.
I fell in love with broadcasting because of television.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I watched a lot of TV growing up.
Uh-huh.
And I knew that this is what I'm supposed to do with my life.
Yeah.
And then I lived with my cousins. My auntie and uncle took me in. Long story at the time.
Yeah.
They bought us a radio.
Yeah. And
we would sleep with that radio on.
Yeah.
The first thing I woke up to was the radio, and the last thing I went to sleep to was the radio, and it was always on Yarona FM. Right? That is when I fell in love with Yarona FM. Hey, what a time, okay?
Yeah.
So, but my first love is television. So when I got the gig first at YTV, I don't know if you know this, I did the Premier League show
I know.
at YTV.
Because I used to do public relations for the TV station.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love making television.
Yeah.
Making television. In fact, I would love to get behind the camera one day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I could be great at that too. But making television is like one of my favorite things. I feel like my whole natural personality comes out. I become my goofy self. I become bubbly. I become Lebowa LB Moron, right? And I love making television. So when BTV called, the first time BTV called, I can't even remember who called me. They called me for an audition. Hey, we've got auditions going and we really wanted you to come. I was like, what?
Yes.
That was literally screaming in the house. My mom came from the other room and was like, is everything okay? I was like, BTV just called me. They said I should come audition. I'm going to work on TV. I was that excited. Yeah. So, yes, I was excited, and I was excited because I love television. Television is my favorite thing. I love watching television. I love documentaries. I love reality television. I love sports. I love how it's shot. I love everything about TV.
So what is it like doing on the Breakfast Show?
On the Breakfast Show, I am a host. I am the presenter. I am the star of the show, child.
Yeah.
There's 3 of us. I am with a young lady called Naledi Lala Tsapo. She also used to work on radio, as well as a young man called Bernard Mochaitso.
Okay.
We present the show together in pairs.
Okay.
And it is the time of my life. We do fun things, and we learn, and we talk to people every day. And we host, I think it's one of the best that it's some of my best work. And that for me is enough, because I think I pour myself into the research that I do. I pour myself into the interviewing, and I love to meet all these interesting, different people from all walks of life. You see, radio, I love, but you can't really see, and I love to see. I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do you mean? What do I do on radio?
No, you just on TV. No, you just answered me.
Gotcha.
Just answered me.
Yeah.
Brings me to saying this. I'm sure it also challenged you to get out of your comfort zone, which was sports. Now you are a broad media journalist, like a broadcast journalist. You talk about current affairs.
So much, guys. I miss sports so much. I feel like the Climax and Dumela Botswana Breakfast Show. I love those two products.
Yeah.
What great products.
No, that's the growth. Like you can't stay in
But
sports.
they've taken away my baby. I don't have time. I'm always tired. I can't I miss sports. I miss sports very much.
Just have a feature. Just have a feature. Like
we do actually.
No.
Well, we've been working on it since 2024, and we were starting it slowly in 2025.
And folks.
Oh, me and Sway on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Where we talk sports. And I want to do more stuff. I want to do more in the sports sphere. I miss it very, very much.
Yeah. But
yeah, I feel like I've been on a break for about 2 years now.
So if you're feeling like this, I'm wondering how my big pro folks is feeling like, because that was a sports. Like,
nah, he's back. I get it. He's the head of sports at Yarona FM.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's back. He's always at events now. He's always doing sports interviews, and you see him more. I remember when he was doing Just Breakfast, you didn't see him a lot at the office.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel. You know, Fox is a big energy. You know how loud he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you feel him and see him more. I think it's because he's back to doing what he really loves.
Yeah,
and he never really left, because he does the Sunday soccer show anyway.
Yeah, the Sunday soccer show.
Yeah, and he loves football. So I miss sports, guys. Sports every day.
No, do a show on Thursday called the Late Night Show with LB. It will definitely replace fantastic Martin from the Galaxy Show.
We miss Martin so much.
Yeah.
First of all, guys, we don't talk about what a great run he had.
Yeah, 11
right?
years.
Honestly, 11 years, a multi-award winning.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody do volleyball coverage better than Martin?
What sports from?
Does anyone do karate coverage better than Martin?
Oh.
Come on, man. This guy killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it. Well done. We miss you so much. I can't believe
the charismatic.
The charismatic one.
Yeah,
Number one twice.
Yeah, I think I should call him.
You really should.
Yeah.
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 You should. Also, he's interesting and entertaining.
Yeah, he is.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Has a very unique way of seeing the world. He's hilarious. The cotton eater.
The cotton eater. So, 2025, what's new? What are you waiting on? Which surprises?
Chomi, I don't talk about what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I just do it. So you'll see.
Okay.
I hate this answer, but I've been literally sitting down and working on what I want to put out in 2025.
Yeah.
Look forward to a lot of sports.
Yeah.
We will be having a lot of conversations or a lot of content around sports with your big name athletes.
Yeah. But you saying good.
Show me the world. If 2025 ends and you didn't see Serena Williams on the LB podcast or on the LB Sports, whatever it's called.
The bills that there's an LB podcast.
No, it's not even a podcast. I just use the word podcast because it's easy to go with.
Yeah.
Serena Williams, Nigel Amos.
Yeah.
I really want to interview Isaac, but I feel like him and I don't have the chemistry yet. I really want to hang out with him first so that I get a sense of, I get a sense of who he is. But if I haven't interviewed some of these guys by the end of the year, guys, but I just want to make things that help people understand the world better, but most importantly, understand themselves better. So the conversations that I'm having this year are about understanding the world and yourself a little better. Because I don't think I don't think there's success without self-love. Yeah.
I like it. Actually, before I shut it down, I wanted to ask you an interesting question.
Okay.
Like they say, Bari have the pretty face of Botswana radio.
Who says that?
Because there's usually a belief that radio presenters, these are not my words, guys. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. The female radio presenters, not only Botswana, but in general, they have beautiful voices, but their voices are the opposite of
Dumi Ramsden is gorgeous.
Dude,
Miss B is gorgeous. Radiki Fikile was beautiful.
Matindo.
How Nadine Twang?
Johnny's wife. What's her name?
Oh, Mimi, Zizi, man.
What's Giselle?
Fine girl.
Yeah.
Giselle.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Luthe. Cat. Lizozo. What are you talking about?
No, what
are you talking about?
What said?
Chomi. Nina LR. You know Nina LR?
Yeah, I know her.
Late night radio, 7 p.m.
And there's VVM.
VVA.
Yeah.
Lerato Mudia, Libua Grain, Chomi.
No, but she does.
Libua Grain.
Yeah.
But I good.
Yeah. And also, there's no woman who's like. Nah,
I agree. No, I'm kidding. I agree. I agree. No, genuinely, we also need to stop doing that. We need to stop conventional beauty. You know what my friend said to me the other day that hit me so hard?
Yeah.
You need to see everything as a gift from God, right? And I think we need to stop seeing beauty as what we conventionally know in the box as beautiful. Because I grew up, when I was growing up, the television told me that because I don't wear a size super small, because I have a gap, because my nose is like pointy. You know, it's not like it's like right? Because I have these scars and my skin is not flawless, then I'm not beautiful. Yeah.
But
now black women are in fashion.
Yeah.
Having a bum is in fashion. Getting a BBL and having before, if you were curvy, it was too much. No, we want the straight, we want abs, and pot bellies are in fashion now.
Yeah.
So define your own beauty.
Yeah.
You are, in fact, you are beauty. You, the way that you are right now, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, and you don't need any outside validation, not from social media, not from television, not from a man, not from a woman. That's all I have to say about that.
Perfect.
And I agree, everyone is beautiful to me, Simon.
Yeah.
Even men, my beautiful boys.
Can you tell me that one?
But it's a man, show me.
So, bring to my question now, on a serious note. Being a young, beautiful lady that you are in the media industry, where you started off in sports, like, did you ever come across predators who be like, no, you know what? Cut me a slice of cake and then I'll put you on, like, I'll give you this position, or I'll sponsor your show, or I'll do this. You know what I mean by saying
we are Botswana. Yeah. We are in the top 90-something percentile of sexual assault and rape in the world. We are number 2 on the list of 100 and whatever countries where violence against women is prevalent. Number 2. What do you think?
How often do they approach you?
I mean, it happened a lot when I was starting. It doesn't happen so much now. But I'm also realizing that it wasn't happening to me as much as it was happening to other people for whatever reason. Sometimes I hear the stories that other people share with me within the industry, and I can't believe it. Yeah, and one of the things that we do wrong is trying to downplay it. I remember we were invited, before I started working, at BTV, we were invited to come and talk about what it's like to be a female sports journalist in the country. I was with Lily Kolansu and I can't remember who the second person was. And I remember speaking about how some of the things that happened, like how I go to a game and I spend 98% of my time thwarting attention. Someone is like, hey, baby, hey, you know, and people were just like, yeah, if it's from like a man that you find attractive, it's fine. And I'm like, but that's not the point. The point is when I'm at work and you're at work and we're doing the same work, I'm doing an extra job that you don't have to worry about because women are not harassing you. No matter how good looking you are. And I'm not saying women don't harass, please stop harassing men. But you're not dealing with the same level of harassment that I'm, not even harassment, attention. I don't want to call it harassment because it's only that I have to deal with. And it can take other people out. It can cause people who really don't want that to walk away from what could have been a budding career. It can demoralize. It can lead to some very dangerous situations. And it can affect my entire life. Like that one statement that you made, Hore, if I become friends with you, sir, then I will get all the gigs. I will be first to your mouth if I become friends with you. That one statement can have such a huge impact on how my life turns out. You can ruin someone's life doing those things. So if you come across this podcast and you're an individual who solicits sex in the office, solicits sex using your power, solicits sex as a leader, gets into relationships where the power dynamic is you are the leader and you are dating your subordinate, you are sleeping with your subordinate, you're interacting inappropriately with subordinates, you're making inappropriate jokes about the size of any part of your body, the amount of sex that you have, how much you want to have sex with me, what it must be like to have sex with me. All those random, inappropriate, unnecessary for work things. I need you to know that even though maybe people haven't told you, you are making the lives of some people miserable. You are affecting how we feel about ourselves. You are affecting our whole day. You are affecting our ability to do our jobs. And you should stop it. There are lots of places to find partners. There are lots of ways to find partners. There is lots of ways to have sex. Against my will is not one of them.
Because I find it actually crazy and immature for someone to take advantage of their position too.
100%.
Yeah.
I wish all men would think like you. It's irresponsible.
Yeah.
It puts the company in danger. It puts the workforce in danger. It puts your money in danger. If your family and all the things that I just talked about are not enough, think about how it might affect the business.
Yeah.
Maybe the business is good enough for you to stop your nonsense.
Well, what could you say was the largest what was the biggest offer that you were given, or the worst case scenario that you went through?
What do you mean? When have I ever been solicited for sex?
Like, obvious, these guys will be like, so baby, you are in go BBC or go CNN, and then when Dirayan, or like, also if these people are they think that since LB is on BTV and Yarona FM, like she's an easy going person, I can just quickly go and grab a part and kiss it. Yeah.
The interesting thing for me is the conversation never gets as far as even an offer.
Okay.
These guys are slick, Chomi. It's not like that's not how it happens. It's very subtle language that is very easily deniable, plausible deniability, right? So if I took you to task, if I wrote an email about what you just said to me, my complaint wouldn't hold because you said it so slick. It's in words that are in the workplace very acceptable. But I know you and I know what you're saying. Does that make sense? So for me, it doesn't usually get that far. Worst case scenario is when the person won't leave me alone, where I'm getting calls. Or worst case scenario for me, the most recent one was I heard rumors about, people were coming to me asking me about whether or not I was having a relationship with the person. And for me, it just says this person was trying to solicit, and in there doing that, they went around telling someone who was telling other people. Yeah, but nothing happened.
And this is someone with a high position, wherever they are.
Wherever they are.
Yeah, so I feel sorry for a lot of women, bro. Like I work with a lot of women on a daily basis. I've worked with you directly, indirectly. I'm wondering, like, is she safe? Like every time when I'm in a space where there's like women that I know, like I'm sure I've said this to you before.
Right.
I'm like, dude, what's up? Are you okay? And then when you respond, I'm like, are you sure? Like I've made it like a thing to like just checking for our sisters are fine. And I've always made it a point to tell them that if anyone is giving me a problem, if I'm around, just let me know. So I think that's a culture that we need to.
Yeah, I think it's a responsibility of good men like you to help.
As much as you're saying good men like me, just yesterday, I was by the fish business that I have. So one of my friends ordered fish. So I go to the mall where they are. I'm like, this person said I should come to such and such a restaurant. So let me not go carrying the fish, but let me just walk to the restaurant and see if maybe he's in a meeting with the CEO or whatever. So,
and see if it's time it can deliver. Gotcha.
Or I get the car keys and then go in.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm walking like I'm dressed in an African attire because I was coming from church. It's hot, so I'm like walking fast. And there's a woman walking in front of me. She like sees me and then she quickly crosses the road. Like you see that she's not comfortable. And then as I approached closer to her, I'm like, did I scare you? She was like, you're looking very weird.
Yeah.
I was like, ow, excuse me, sister. It's just that I'm in a rush, so it's not like I'm chasing you.
Yeah, I'm just walking at a pace.
And then after some hours, I see her in a supermarket. And then she looks at me again. Now it's just going to get like some water because it's hot. Now I'm leaving. And then in my mind, I'm like, oh, this woman will think that I'm following you now. Like for sure. So when I'm home, I sit down and then I reflect. I'm like, dude, I was coming from church. I was minding my own business. And this lady wasn't feeling comfortable because I was walking behind her. And how often does she feel uncomfortable? Not only in my presence, but in the presence of other men. So it's said how the society has come to be.
It is sad how that, you know, on one end, you've got this gender that's basically free to do whatever. On the other hand, you've got this other gender that literally is at the mercy of this gender, basically. It's tough. Yeah, that's what I'll say. It's very tough. You know, I can't tell you how many times I'm anxious. Put it in the car, when you're walking, in the mall, everywhere you are. But I don't know, have faith that things will change. Have faith that, you know, the systems that are in place will become more efficient, will become more effective. You know, prison sentences will become serious for certain crimes. And hope for the best.
I used to work with some guy. He told me that he skipped preschool.
Preschool?
Yeah.
Okay. So he went straight to reception.
Yeah, when he was a bit old enough to be standard one. So the way he behaved, I could tell that it's someone you just showed on TV, bro.
I know.
No, this is a podcast. It's fine.
Yeah.
I guess the podcast is boring, bro, because you're yawning.
No, I'm just tired.
No, it's because I yawned also playing the camera.
Really?
Yeah. So this guy, the way he was acting, bro, like when we were walking in the streets, it's just hitting on each and every woman that you see. I ended up saying that this reason, the reason we are acting like this is because we prescribed. Yeah.
That is definitely not the reason why. But your question?
My question, where I'm trying to go is that people are not cultured well. That's why they act in such a manner.
There's a lot of absenteeism in how children are being raised.
Yeah.
Absenteeism of a parent, and even when they're there, they're not checked in. And even if, when it comes to the responsibilities of the child, there are certain ones that you leave to other organizations like the school. So, yeah, we do have a very big problem in terms of how kids are being raised. I don't know if it's solvable, Choni.
Mindset change.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It'll take a long time for the decolonization of such things. It's
psychological issues. It's emotional. It's everything.
Gosh, when you're saying it's psychological issues, it's everything. I'll give you an example using myself. I lost someone that I loved so much when I was 10 years old, and I never got to see her again. And then I have a friend. Okay, you see, you know me, right? I grew up to be the person that I am, like a morally upright person and stuff like that. I have a friend of mine, name withheld. His parents divorced when he was already working after graduating from high school.
As an adult.
After that, he lost it. He got into drugs and alcohol, and he blamed everything. He lost his job, by the way, in the process. And he blames the parents' divorce to that. So I'm comparing a 10-year-old me losing someone that I love so much, and a 20-something-year-old man experiencing divorce of their parents.
I mean, everybody says it.
Yeah.
That at some point you have to take responsibility for your life. Unfortunately, not everyone gets to that point.
Yeah.
Or not everyone gets to that point, or sometimes you get to that point but you don't make the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really up to you what you want your life to become. And that's the unfortunate truth.
Yeah.
I wish there were external bodies that fight for you and then you win at life despite whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to decide that this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
This is who you want to become. And once you do that, once you draw that conclusion, it makes it easier to maneuver life, to heal from the past hurts, to take responsibility, take accountability for the way that you live and the things that you do.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Bro, we can talk forever. I know I like talking and I like talking. I think one day we should have like a podcast special.
Never. This is the last time I'm going on any podcast.
No, and then we just talk about it.
It could just be a phone call. It doesn't need to be recorded and posted.
Yeah.
This is the point that I'm trying to make. Not everything has to be something that's put out.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Yeah. No, thank you for passing by and making this your first and last podcast appearance.
Hello there. guess, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
I hope did you get anything of value from what I spoke about?
A lot of things that I wanted. I know a lot of people will call me and say, why didn't you ask her about the upbringing? How did this reach your kickstart? Dude, LB has been in the industry for 10 years, bro. Why do you, she's told the story over and over again. Also, if you want to know about the upbringing, tune into her radio show.
I talk about my upbringing every day. Every day we just talk about my upbringing. Yeah. So tune in.
Yeah, tune in. And I'll see you the next FA Cup.
December Chomi Grahad.
Again. Yeah, no, it's good. No, thank you so much, LB.
Thank you.
Yeah, any parting words? Give us that LB Moron radio. I know you said you're not doing a radio thing because this is just a podcast. We're just having a conversation. What about Botswana?
Guys, I'm thinking English. Anyway, listen. Hi. How you doing? I hope you have enjoyed this podcast episode. I'm in no way brilliant. I'm in no way different than you. The thing that sets me apart is I learned a while ago that God loves me. And with his love, I can achieve anything. And he can help me live in his purpose for my life. So the last words I want you to know is that God loves you. He loves you so, so much. You matter, you're important, you are valuable, and everything that you have in your heart that you dream about is your purpose. It's what you're here to do. So go out and do it. God will help you get there. Be blessed.
Danko, LB just blow you kisses.
Remember when I started on radio?
Yeah.
When I first started my first ever sports update.
Yeah.
I had a thing where I'd be like, that's it from the Daily Sports Desk. I'm LB. Kisses. Mwah.
Yeah. So
kisses, kisses.
So after this, a lot of podcasters will call you. You start getting a lot of jobs from corporate clients.
No, I talk too much. Nobody wants people who talk too much.
We didn't talk about your MCing gig, right?
We didn't. Yeah.
Do you want us to touch it?
What would you like to know?
So, what type of MC are you? Are you the festival whereby are you born and raised? You're not we want to party. Oh, yeah, the one whereby when the stock exchange is announcing the results, people are like, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my name is LB. Which you for? So that,
they would describe me as a corporate MC, right? But I think I'm more of an events facilitator, right? So it doesn't matter the event.
Yeah.
As long as you've given me the vision you want to bring to life with your event, I can facilitate that.
And events curator.
Yes, no, I don't curate events because I don't know how to give people. I know how to give people a great experience in the speaking sense.
Okay.
In the flowing of the program sense.
Yeah.
I think an event curator is somebody who knows what people want in terms of an event experience, the look and the feel of the event. I don't think I can do that. Don't call me to come and do that. I will not decorate your event for you. I don't know anything about chairs or decor, candles,
spoons and forks.
Nothing. So I'm an events facilitator.
Okay.
I help you manage the program for your event. I help you stay on time. I help you keep your audience engaged, your guests engaged, whether that be at a wedding, a corporate event, a party. I don't usually do you know why I don't do groove events, Chomi?
Yeah.
It's because primarily when I'm in the car, I listen to gospel music, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with groove events is you really have to have an understanding of the music.
Okay.
The music is what really pushes the MCA.
Yeah.
So you need to know a song well enough for how we wanna party. I don't know the songs well enough. I don't listen to enough for me to be able to, for me to be able to help people or carry people through an event like that. I would love to try it because, like you said, I'll take on a challenge. I would love to see myself give go groove here again. And I also don't dance. But I can see something. I'm a black girl. Of course I have rhythm. What are you talking? I'm an African woman. All African women have. You can't be out here with no rhythm. What you doing?
Also, we haven't taken this part of every radio or female presenter of becoming a DJ. It's not your cup of tea.
I didn't even like going outside. Now you want me to go outside at night and entertain people. I was playing music for people. Why am I not into DJing? I just don't think it's something that I'm interested in. But to advise you.
No,
I'm somebody who believes in. I don't like to do things I don't enjoy, things I'm not passionate about, things that don't fuel me. People say I'm going to be broke forever because of that. Can't wait till I make my first million so I can call y'all and be like, what? What are you talking about? I don't like to do... Have you ever done something that you don't enjoy? Something that isn't your passion? Something you're not good at? Something that doesn't spark your joy? Eventually, after maybe the first 6 months, you will have the energy for it. After 6 months, it becomes a chore. And I feel like we already have enough chores in our life. There's enough chores. We don't need any more chores. We don't need any more chores, Chumi. You're already doing your budget.
Hey, but they're raking in the money.
You're already going to the gym. It's enough.
It's enough.
You already have too many responsibilities.
I see them raking in a lot of money, like this DJ people. I don't know, maybe they're not getting paid, but
I think well done. Keep doing that. Keep making your money. Keep being booked. Like Teddy's not a DJ. Right now, top guy on almost 90% of the albums. The lineups.
I heard DJ Sid talking about it.
Who?
DJ Sid.
Sid. Yes. DJ Sid. Shout out DJ Sid. But we're radio ledge. Entertainment ledge. You see, you've got so many great DJs in Botswana. Neil played it. Michael After 10, otherwise known as D-Lo. Max Wabana. There's a new kid. I haven't heard him, but everyone is raving about him. Khating. Chumi, why have I forgotten his name?
Just need Differ Fox.
Differ Fox is amazing. Differ Fox. You know who else is amazing? The one who plays he was playing on Friday. Why can't I remember his name? We were at the Schweppes event.
Okay. The tall guy.
No, he's like, I think he's the best DJ in our country, but I can't remember his name, so this makes me look bad, and it invalidates my point. But I think he's the best DJ in the country. Please remind me his name. I took a video that day. No, we're going to pause. You're going to skip this whole part.
You're going
to...
Because I thought it...
I took a video because I was like, I really want to talk about how this man is the best DJ in our country, and we never give him his props for being Dizzy D, dog.
Dizzy D.
Dizzy D.
Shout out to Dizzy D.
Dizzy D is literally like his set. Every single time I've been around Dizzy D, and he's on the Analytic for Fox, and they're on the lineup.
It's magic. It's magic.
Do you know who else would make a great DJ? Impossible needs to become a DJ.
Is it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she's not interested, and I would never make you do it, babes, if it's not your interest. Like I said, I believe in following your passions. But Impossibilia's music taste, and when she curates a playlist, it goes up.
No, for me, I respect her pen game, right, on another level.
Her writing.
She's on another level.
She... I find her music... So at first, I used to think I don't get it. I'm not the target market. It's like above my... It's above my etherealness. Or my like, you know, I feel like her music is roots.
Yeah.
Or it's rooted in culture, Botswana tradition, and our ancestry, our where we come from, Mudi Wadilo.
Yeah.
So I used to think I'm just not woke enough for it. But now when I listen to Mposibina, I'm just like, this music is so, her ability to write a song and her, the melody she hears is not the melody I would hear. Yeah. And I love artists who are like that. They're very unique. Shout out to Mposibina. Shout out
to Mposibina, the Heart King. There's a name that she is like calling herself. But anyway, I don't know, like when you sing Korean music, like you describe the way she writes and stuff like that. So, like some of the songs that she sings, these are stories that my grandmother used to tell us when we were young. And my grandmother, she comes from like the Zulu origin. So just check the difference, Zulu, Botswana. Yeah, so...
You see what I'm saying? I feel like she makes music that comes from the soul of the earth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to describe it except that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Mposibina. Yeah. No, LB, bro. Let's do it again in December.
So much, Chumi.
Let's do it again in December.
Let me get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's do it again in December.
Yeah, just call me on your show one day and let me talk all the funny stuff that we're talking about.
We will.
Yeah.
We will. I'll see. What I know is what everybody needs to understand, and this needs to be, I'm a co-host, guys. I have a co-host. I don't make decisions. Everyone's like, please, I want to be on your show. Guys, it has to be a teamwork effort of decisions. So I can't make you promises. Even now, I'm busy saying I will. I need to run it by my nigga Sway.
Yeah.
Love Sway so much.
Shout out Sway. I think you're the best DJ in the world, bro.
I don't think anyone is. And you know what I love about Sway? That nobody will talk about?
Yeah.
Do you know every single year that we have a fresh crop of presenters that are being trained? You know how we open at Yarona FM, they call for presenters every 2 years, and we open it up and we're looking for new talent, and that happens so on that basis. Sway, I think for the last 3 years, since he finished training and became a presenter, is so generous in helping these kids develop. He teaches them. When they shadow Sway, they know everything. And he's such a great teacher. I think he should go into some kind of teaching. Maybe do like a course here DJing, because he literally DJ Sway is, if you wanna learn about radio, that's the guy. I mean, shout out Mr. O. Shout out all the guys who
shout out Easy.
Yeah, shout out Easy, shout out Borijin Dwa. But DJ Sway is one of the most generous with his knowledge, what he knows, what he has, his network. He is so generous, and I know that people don't say that enough. They'll say he's a great radio presenter, which he is. He's a great DJ.
What I know is he's hard work.
Huh?
He's hard work.
He's very hard working. Yeah.
LB, push up with him.
Shapatrum. So, Ritual.